bait every time. There's nothing wrong with a conversation on Sean Puffy Combs, but when you scroll through Black Twitter and you scroll through Black Instagram and you scroll through Black Facebook and you humiliated and destroyed, they said, throw them one of their own. Let's lynch another Negro today to send all the Black people over here while we take care of business over here. This is a grand distraction.
Okay. So, first and foremost, I will say this. And I said this before on another live. I don't think that Diddy is the big fish here. There's plenty of evidence to suggest that Diddy has sugar daddies, rich sugar daddies, with people that we never see. These are people that are behind the scenes. There's plenty of evidence to suggest that all his money is smoke and mirrors. Okay. If y'all don't watch Tisa Tells, please go watch her, because she breaks all of this down and she comes with the receipts, right? I don't think that this is particularly an attack on African Americans, because everybody is talking about this at this point. Diddy is a big, or was a big mogul in the music industry. So if you are not just in your own bubble and only watching entertainment in the algorithm that suggests news to Black people, you will know that white people are talking about this. People of all races are talking about this. So I don't think it's just to distract Black people. We have plenty of other distractions going on. I mean, to be clear, the election that's going on right now is all political theater. It's all smoke and mirrors, right? And yes, there are other things going on in the world right now, but you don't need to put out a story about Diddy to distract the average American. To be honest, the average American does not care. The average American does not care about foreign policy, world events. They are not tracking what's going on with our tax dollars. I promise you they don't care. And that's not a race thing. That is just a people thing. So I don't think that I don't see any benefit in just particularly targeting the Black community here. And honestly and truly, the bigger scandal is the white executives who are behind Diddy, right? So and let's be clear, there are plenty of stories, not just this Diddy thing, circulating around the other communities to keep them distracted as well. It's estimated that the average school takes up to a year and a half to open, and he didn't build his from the ground up. He just bought buildings. Yes, and honestly and truly, you don't need a huge building to start a charter school. You can start a charter school from a really small space. And there are also online charter schools. So if he wanted to get an online school going, which is honestly easier to do than a brick and mortar, and he could have hired people to do the curriculum for him, that could have already been open. He could have been had a curriculum available. Children could have been started homeschooling or something until he got his building up. So that's all a bunch of BS. How do I become a moderator, Mariah? I'll make you a moderator. Hold on. I'll do it right now. I figure out how to do it. One second. Yeah, so I mean, all of that is BS. All of that is BS. Dang, now I done forgot how to do it. Settings. I think I go to settings, community. Cha-cha with you. Why is it saying no users found when I put your name in? Okay, Cha-cha, I'm going to do it after. Oh, here we go. I found you. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you are now a mod, Cha-cha. Yeah, you've been here long enough with me. Yeah. Again, guys, if you're just now coming in, we are talking about the whole situation with P. Diddy. Right now, we are talking about the fact that Dr. Umar Johnson is saying that it is just a distraction. Apparently, he has created in his mind that the wealthy people have somehow decided that the black people around the world need to be distracted, which, let's be clear, this is coming from an American perspective because I promise you, the vast majority of black people around the world, like in the diaspora, don't care about P. Diddy. I promise you, the black people in Brazil don't care about P. Diddy. There are more black people in Brazil than in the United States. They're not sitting up talking about P. Diddy, nor do they care. I promise you, a majority of the black people that live in Kenya or Ethiopia are not sitting over here talking about P. Diddy. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have other distractions and that they don't have problems and things going on. I'm just saying this is coming from an American concept. So he can't include all black people around the world in that. Do you find the Kim Porter theory to be plausible that he unalived her? Absolutely. Is that what you're talking about? Let me know. Kim Porter allegedly transition from pneumonia, but I'm not buying it. She was coming out with a tell-all book. Uh, Tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to read some excerpts from her tell-all book because it's been leaked. I didn't even think of the online school route. Yes, there are so many ways that he could have been open this school and figure out a way to properly appropriate the funds that he has been given, but instead he has been living off of these funds. Which my theory, I can't prove it, but that's how I feel. You're welcome. Thank you for showing up. All right. So let me continue with the video.
They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want black people to pay attention to. They always do this when they're planning something really, really big that they don't want American Negroes or Africans around the world to pay attention to. And we fall for the bait every time. There's nothing wrong with a conversation on Sean Puffy Combs. But when you scroll through black Twitter and you scroll through black Instagram and you scroll through black Facebook and you humiliated and destroyed, they said, throw them one of their own. Let's lynch another Negro today to send all the black people over here while we take care of business over here. This is a grand distraction. They always do this when they're playing.
Okay, I don't like what he's insinuating here. I don't like the verbiage. Oh, they always lynching another. Let's be clear. Now, have there been a lot of non-melanated people who have gotten away with the things that they have done? Absolutely. But I feel like we ignore the times where people do get their due justice, like Harvey Weinstein. Like, y'all remember the guy from that 70 show? I think his name is Danny Matheson or something like that. Nobody said anything. You didn't see Dr. Umar Johnson saying anything when he went to jail for doing all of those things to those women. So there are white people being prosecuted in the public eye for their crimes every day. We just don't pay attention to it because, for the most part, that's not our culture. Second, I don't like how he's trying to paint Diddy out as some victim who is being lynched. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. We have been hearing these stories about Diddy for a long time. If you've been listening and paying attention to the community, this is nothing new, nor did it hit any of us by surprise. So why are we pretending like this angry mob of people is coming after P. Diddy? Now, I do feel like they waited till the right time to come after him. I do feel like he pissed them off. I do feel like they are the higher ups, whatever you want to call them, are understanding that us common people, us lay people, are tired. Okay. We are tired because we are struggling. The inflation is high. And that a lot of people want to see rich people burn, honestly and truly. So, yes, I feel like to some degree, P. Diddy is a sacrificial lamb, but he has not been the only one, is the point that I'm making. Okay. Um, Hi, Liv. Am I saying it? Oh, yeah, Liv. Oh, hi, Olivia. How are you? It's funny how every time someone is about to do a tell all, they mysteriously die. That is true. Good morning. Yeah, good morning to everybody coming in. I'm glad to see y'all early. Up, alive, moving around. I can't, girl, it's going to be tea when I read these excerpts. I already know it's going to be some foolishness. That white guy from Nickelodeon hasn't been prosecuted. I think you're saying talking about Dan Snyder. Think is that who you're talking about? Yeah, he hasn't been prosecuted yet. But to be clear, Diddy went so long without being prosecuted. Y'all understand? So I know a lot of the times we like to look at it and be like, oh, well, such and such hasn't got theirs yet, or such and such. But there were plenty of people who were getting theirs while Diddy wasn't getting his. And now he's getting his. I stopped paying attention to Umar during the pandemic. I honestly forgot about the school scam. Yeah, Dan Snyder. Yeah. And who's to say that his time isn't coming either? Because enough people have spoken up. You just gotta kind of let things play out. And to be clear, I believe that everything done in the dark comes to the light, and in the end, everybody gets theirs. There are some people who are going to get theirs in private and not necessarily in public. But I don't think it is a race thing, to be honest. And I think there's a reason why a lot of these CEOs are stepping down. I think they're afraid.
Scroll through
Okay.
Black TikTok, and all you see is gossip and conversation about one man. At a time like this, then you know you are engaged in a grand distraction. Sean Combs is a distraction. And anytime you see something like this, you should ask yourself, what are they trying to distract African people away from? One of the things they want to distract you away from, they want to distract you away from the fact that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have no agenda for African people. One of the things they want to distract you away from. Scroll through Black TikTok.
Again, I don't necessarily agree with that, because you can go on any website that caters to African American people, and African American people are talking about the election. I can go on Facebook right now, and all up and down my timeline, they're either talking about smegs. Y'all know them people that be super freaky on Facebook. I don't understand that, but they do that. They're either talking about smegs, relationships, the election. I see that more than I see black people talking about the election right now more than they're talking about P. Diddy. Now, do I necessarily agree with everybody's opinions? No, but they are talking about it. I see plenty of black people bringing up the fact that neither one of these people have a plan for us. So I think this is a situation where people are multitasking. And honestly and truly, if he wants to talk about distractions, like this whole election is a whole distraction and game and play. But again, I don't think that this is specifically targeting African American people. I think in other ways, other communities are being gaslit as well. I want Lorianne Gibson and Farnsworth Bentley to share what they know. Also, I'm shocked at how quiet Aubrey O'Day has been since his arrest. She's been vocal about him for the longest, right? I'm very surprised. I wonder if there's some type of legal document that is keeping her from spilling the beans. I know there was this song, we can get to it in a little bit, that she reposted that she made in 2013 about Diddy, but she hasn't really come out and went on like a huge rant like she would normally have done. Now, Are Lorianne and Farnsworth still cool with Diddy? Yeah, Facebook is a cesspool. And the reason why it's like that is because people get paid for engagement. So they cater to what people have their minds on, smegs and playing games. So honestly and truly, that's what I'm saying. People don't need to distract easily distractible people with news of P. Diddy. Most people genuinely don't care about what's going on around the world. And if you try to tell them what's going on, they will call you crazy and a conspiracy theorist. It's alleged that Diddy called Don's phone over 30 times after that Aubrey incident. Yes, so what's being put out there is that Diddy was supposed to go ahead and turn himself in at an agreed upon date, but he went to New York and he was tampering with witnesses. Um, so that's why they went ahead and arrested him early, and they were like, "You're just going to sit in jail until we're done with our investigation because we're not about to play these games with you." I thought it was the other member of Dirty Money that was harassed after Don's lawsuits. I think you're talking about Kalina. Yes, I did see that. I don't know about Don, but I know he was calling Kalina like crazy.
See,
Okay.
before they gave you Sean Puffy Combs on a silver platter, before they broke the news on Sean Combs, we were asking Kamala, what are you going to do for us? Before they broke the news on Sean
Now
Combs,
that
we
wasn't
were
going on.
asking Donald.
That wasn't going on. Let's be clear. That wasn't going on. Um And I don't know if it's bots. I don't know if it's bots, but I'm inclined to believe that it's not just bots. Like I think honestly and truly, I think there's a split in the community. So yes, you do have some who are saying, well, what is she going to do for black people? Then you have these other black people who are like, well, she's supposed to be the president of the entire black community. And then you have a lot of black people who simply, I think this is the majority probably, don't care what she's going to do for black people. They just are going to vote for her off of the strength for it's a vote against Donald Trump. They really don't care. So I don't feel like people have been holding her feet to the fire. Nobody's been holding her feet to the fire in these interviews. And again, this was before all of this news with Diddy. So I don't feel like it's going to change any outcomes in the election. True, Diddy was harassing Don. I think he was threatening her to keep quiet. She did say that she kept quiet for so long because he had made so many thirsts. Guys, again, if you're just coming in, hit the like button so that people can see that I'm on live and my content can circulate across these YouTube streets. Y'all see me trying to do right. I have my little vinegar water, trying to get this 20 pounds off. Lorianne and him had a huge falling out on making the band and never recovered. Okay. As far as Farnsworth is concerned, I think Diddy has him set for life and he'll never step forward. And it was rumored that it's been rumored, allegedly, I don't know, that there was some type of relationship there in terms of, romantically. I don't do identity politics. I vote for policies. Correct. I'm the same way, politically homeless. I actually listen to what you say. I don't care about those identity politics. How are the policies that you are stating that you are going to push going to affect me and my day to day? And can I see evidence, especially if you are a career politician? Can I see evidence in your career that you're about what you say that you're about and that you can be effective? Most people don't view politics in that way. So you don't need Diddy to distract them from it. They weren't going to think about it in those terms anyway. Warm lime water and cayenne pepper for the win. Okay, I'm going to have to try that. This election is the most certain I've seen people be regarding who they're voting for or if they're even voting at all. The debate felt pointless to me, to be honest. It changed no one's mind. Yeah, the debate, if you were already going to vote for Kamala Harris, you felt like she completely demolished Trump. If you already saw the foolery that was going on, to be honest, because they only fact checked Donald Trump, whether you like Trump or not. If you went into this as an independent and unbiased, you know that debate and the moderators were in favor of Kamala Harris. And then if you were already a Trump supporter, there was nothing that woman could have said to sway your opinion. So people are going to do what they want to do. To be clear, I'm sitting this election out. I'm not even in the United States. I'm over here in Colombia. So I'm not about to go vote when really it's not going to affect me in the way people that are living in the States are going to be affected, to be honest.
Well, Trump, what are you going to do for us? September the 6th, that's why they arrested Puffy.
No, they arrested P. Diddy because he was tampering with witnesses. He was going to get arrested anyway. Let's be clear. But they arrested him because he was tampering with witnesses.
It has only been, tomorrow will be 7 days. Tomorrow, Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Puffy would have been arrested for 1 week tomorrow. Sean Puffy Combs, the diddler, would have been arrested. It ain't been a full week yet. It hasn't been a full week, and you emotionally immature Negropeans. It hasn't been a full week yet, and you emotionally immature Negropeans have taken your attention completely off of election 2024.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I feel like people can do multiple things at once. And again, people are talking about the election every single day. Am I tripping? Y'all let me know if I'm tripping. Do y'all feel like when y'all go on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and in your day to day that people are forgetting that we have an election coming up? Just because people are talking about something else doesn't mean they're not also talking about the election. How do you feel about that so-called second assassination attempt on Trump? I'm not buying it. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Because a part of me feels like, they're trying to get him. I don't know if they're really going after him or this is all political theater. Here's the thing with American news and politics. You can't really believe a lot that you hear, and you can only believe half of what you see. And a lot of things is smoke and mirrors. So I honestly don't know. It is very possible that it was all fake. But if it was fake, I don't think he staged it by himself, or I don't think he did it without the consent of the higher ups. Because again, this is a situation where he's already been on trial and convicted. The FBI is confirming that these attempts are true. So if it is fake, it's not being done on Donald Trump's behalf. He's not the one orchestrating it. He doesn't have the power to orchestrate something of that magnitude. And you have the powers that be get in alignment and agree that it's real and it's happening. I feel like if you didn't have people higher up in agreement with that, then he would have went to jail or been outed for fake attempts. I'm not saying that they are not fake. I'm saying if they are fake, he's not the one behind them. Not that he's not participating. I'm saying he's not the one orchestrating that. And that's what I'm saying. There's so much corruption in the system. There's so much smoke and mirrors, right? And this all could be for show to just get us arguing about, the left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. So trust and believe there are stunts and shows on both sides. I don't think it's something that we need to waste our time trying to argue about because we can't know with certainty. I will say, I am going to say this with certainty. If it was just him and his camp orchestrating all that, he would have been outed. If it was just him and he didn't have permission from somebody else of authority, he would have been got in trouble for that. Diddy and Farnsworth definitely hunched, and not they hunched. Remember, Farnsworth had his own show called From G's to Gents. Yeah, he always gave sassy to me on MTV back in the day. No way he didn't have to pay a price for that. Of course. Of course. Mariah skipped town on us Americans. You ain't slick. I sure did. Y'all thought I was finna be over there struggling and in the ghetto, because that's what it's given. I mean, oh my gosh, an election season in the United States is so rough because people will literally fall out with their family members over differences of opinions, while the rich people, regardless of who wins, are going to stay rich. They're going to stay getting this money, and they're going to stay screwing you out of your money. So there's no point in doing all that. Umar constantly trivializes whatever he's talking about with his choice of words. I refuse to take him seriously. Yeah, it's he doesn't speak in a way that allows for nuance, and it's always about taking down the black people. And to be honest, if anything, a lot of this has to do with classism more than anything. This is about people in power staying in power. And if we can argue about race, if they can keep us arguing about race and being paranoid in the process, better for them, right? Because then we're not really checking for the real enemy. Do y'all remember in the Hunger Games? Y'all let me know if y'all watched the Hunger Games. That was one of my favorite series, and it's so realistic, and we're seeing so much of this coming to pass. Well, first of all, do y'all remember Finnick in the Hunger Games? And a lot of those victors who would win the games, and then they go on to be these celebrities. And if you actually read the book, not just watch the movies, they were basically used like, you know, can I say ladies and men of the evening in the industry, right? So one of the characters, he stopped accepting money, and instead he would trade his body for secrets, right? But when I just go back and think about that series, so much of it was true. And I remember in the book, Katniss Everdeen used to say, like, remember who the enemy is. Remember who the enemy is. Because there was so much political theater and stunts and shows and playing games with people's minds in that movie and in that series. And it was easy to get people arguing or thinking that the common person was their enemy. But at the end of the day, it was always an issue of people in power trying to keep power and keep us arguing. I don't buy it either. The Truman Show wasn't a movie. It was a true story. Facts. Like, there's a real life matrix out here. So to some degree, I can kind of see what Dr. Umar is saying in terms of, like, a lot of stuff is put in the news and in the media to distract us. I think what you have to learn how to do is not get emotionally invested. So it's okay to watch these things or tap into these things and think of them as entertainment. And let's be clear, at the end of the day, P. Diddy did do the things that they are accusing him of doing. This is something we've been talking about for years. And I think it's a cautionary tale for people who want fame and who are talented, right? It's a cautionary tale not to go sell your soul. It's a cautionary tale of what happens when you do sell your soul. So there is value in it, even though it's being put on the stage for political theater, right? You just have to learn as a person how to balance what is a lesson, what is entertainment, and then learn how to tap out of the matrix when you need to handle your business in real life, and remember who your enemy is. And it's not based on race. This is about power. Because trust and believe, there are plenty of people who look just like you, who share the same skin color as you, who, if they could be in a position of power and keep you down so that they could live on top of the world, they would too. This is about people's motivations and intentions, not about skin color. Ew, the ghetto. Yeah, it's giving ghetto. I didn't watch the Hunger Games. You should. As a matter of fact, I suggest that you read the books before you watch the movies if you have time. All right, guys, if y'all are coming in here, remember to hit the like button, subscribe if you've been watching me for a while. You're coming, you're checking for me, you might as well hit subscribe. And remember to jump into the comment section, because the more that y'all interact, the more I have to give y'all. So let's continue.
You have taken your attention completely off of the Black agenda from 2024, and you have put it, that's why they arrested Puffy, on
Okay.
Puff. You have been outsmarted, you have been outmaneuvered, and you have been out strategized by the white power structure once again. Hugh Hefner had a living freak off. Hugh Hefner had a living freak off at the Playboy Mansion. Puff Daddy had intermittent freak offs.
Okay, pause. Now, yes, Hugh Hefner did not get his due. There are a lot of people who haven't gotten their due yet. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people that went to Diddy's parties or engaged in that type of activity who or had the same type of parties as Diddy, who are also Black people who are not being scrutinized at this point in time. So, like, just picking out individual white people that did not get scrutinized and saying, like, okay, it's there's some type of double standard here. When again, there are other Black people who are going to get away in this situation. I promise you, right? Um, I think that's trivializing it. I think, you know, let me just say this. As a community, me being a part of the Black community, I hold our people to a higher standard, honestly and truly. Now, I'm not saying that people of other races shouldn't be prosecuted for the crimes that they do. I'm saying just because they're doing it doesn't mean that we should be doing it and feel like it's okay. We shouldn't be doing it and feel like we should cover up for it and nobody should check us, right? Because at the end of the day, the things that Diddy did affected Black people more than anything. So, like, yeah, we should be holding people in our community to a standard because they affect other Black people. Hugh Hefner wasn't really having a huge effect on young Black girls and Black women and Black boys. Now, I'm not saying that the white people or the white women that his behavior was affecting, that their lives weren't just as valuable, right? But what I'm saying is the damage that's done within our own community is going to touch us first before it touches anybody. So yeah, I'm going to hold that to a higher standard. It's kind of like when women complain about the way that a lot of men behave in terms of being promiscuous, and then their solution is we want to be just as promiscuous as men. Well, who does that really hurt? Who does that really hurt? Are you hurting the man or are you hurting yourself? Thank you, Cha Cha. Selling your soul is no joke. I was a weed head and alcoholic in my teens, doing armed robberies and more. A dark cloud comes over you and you somewhat become obsessed. I'm thankful I changed my ways. Yeah. And honestly and truly, I was talking about this on my other live. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm blessed." Like I'm sure P Diddy has said so many times, "I'm blessed and highly favored." No, right? You sold your soul. You signed a contract with the devil, and when you have things that are not right within you and that come up as fast, and you get everything you ever wanted, but it's all coming from a place of fear, lack, and depravity, that devil gonna give you everything that you ever wanted. And he gonna give you just enough rope to hang yourself. I'm glad you're on a better path now. Yeah, I mean, and that's a testament. I'm gonna put this comment back up. That's a testament to people can change if they want to change. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a point in Diddy's career where he could have turned around and probably walked away unscathed. But there comes a point in time where you just do too much and you run out on your grace. And a lot of the times, the more you get away with doing things like this, the more invincible you feel like you are, the more you feel like it's going to last forever. I've met people like this in real life. And, you'll get away for a time, but eventually you become too cocky. So it's good that you were able to learn from that before it took too much of a toll. I'm 35 now. I haven't been in jail since I was 23. Thanks for the support. I know that's right. I know that's right, because baby, jail ain't no place to be right about now. These weirdos stay thanking God at the award shows. I always cringe when they do. Like, yeah, they will be at an award show thanking God and leave that same award show and go to a freak off where they are doing. It's been alleged that Diddy, because even Cassie's friend said this, like, that when he was doing those freak offs, he would use candles and he was streaming them. It's been alleged that he was doing Smeg's magic with these freak offs. So how you gonna be doing Smeg's magic talking about blessed and highly favored? Spot on, Mariah. When I was getting that fast money, I felt invincible. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to slow it down. It's good to slow it down because a lot of the times we'll get things that we're not prepared for too soon and then we'll lose it. For example, one thing I like about doing YouTube is that you have to build this. I mean, you literally have to build it, and there are metrics that you have to meet. And it's not an overnight thing. Not too many people go viral on YouTube overnight. So it builds your endurance. You have time to mentally prepare. People ask me, like, how do you get on YouTube and not, because people have left really crazy comments in my comment section, and it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me at all. But guess what? This is a mentality that I just came to within a couple of years. If my YouTube channel would have blew up 3 or 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. But in the process, God was building my strength, endurance, and character. And I'm at a point in my life where I really don't care what people have to say about me. Okay, so did we finish that?
Hugh Hefner had a living freak off 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody said a word. This is nothing but a distraction from the election. This is nothing.
Okay, is it just me? And this is all speculation, but is it just me, or does Dr. Umar give y'all creep and freaky and nasty vibes? I remember I was watching a live one time and he was talking about lesbians, and he was saying that lesbians are lost and all they are missing is a man in that equation. So basically, his argument was that, that situation would be okay as long as it was like a polygamous relationship and a man was in it. And I'm like, sir, why are you obsessed with women who don't want you? Like, why are you trying to insert yourself into a situation with women who clearly are not attracted to you? Like, they're batting for the other team. If they wanted a man to be in the equation, they would. You just sound nasty and like you wish you could be in the middle of these two women. And that's what I'm saying. I don't trust Dr. Umar. I feel like he's a I know people very well. It's not too many times where I'm wrong about the vibe and the aura that people give off. And he wish he could have his own freak offs. That's what it's giving. And nobody say anything about it. He definitely feels like the perverted uncle. Yes, I would not leave my child around him. First of all, I wouldn't leave my child alone with any man beside her dad, but definitely wouldn't leave my child alone with him. Okay. And that just gives you're setting yourself up. That's what he gives. So, if you're a woman, you know the vibes. You know when a man is a pervert. You've been around them, you know who they are, what they act like, and the things that they say. And there are a lot of, like, what's that dude's name? Polite. Y'all remember Brother Polite? There are so many perverts in that pro black space, and a lot of the times they use the fact that women are so down for the black race, and they use that to put blinders, kind of like what a lot of pastors do. They use that to put blinders over women's eyes so that they can mess with their children, or mess with them, mess with a lot of these women who don't have good sense. And they use that pro-blackness and pretending like they're a man of discipline, character, and strength to get access to these women and their children. What black scholar do you know that talked about crushing cookies? What is crushing cookies? What's that? What's that? Brother Polite and Nature Boy. Exactly. So honestly and truly, I wouldn't even want to be, if I was a man who was really about the community, I wouldn't even want to be associated with any of those men or that movement, and I wouldn't be defending. And I'm saying this is somebody who, I have good black men in my family. For those of y'all who don't know, one man who I don't know if y'all know who Derek James is, but he trains professional boxers. That is my cousin. That's not a distant cousin. Like, that's my cousin. You know, we talk, and we see each other for holidays. He trained Ryan Garcia and Errol Spence and a few other boxers. But that is a true. He doesn't walk around talking about being pro-black. But when I tell you, this man is so disciplined. This man works out every day. I've never seen him have a drink of liquor. Even at family events, he will not drink liquor. He eats healthy. He's a good man to his wife and his kids, and his family has a foundation, and they are literally out here doing the work. When they get money and donations, they put it right back into the community. Even as a teacher, y'all, I had a party for my kids. I spent like $1,500 on it for my kids who acted right and showed up and did what they're supposed to do in my class. He came, and I promise you, he spent so much money. He came and gave away $100 Amazon gift cards, Nike gift cards, everything. And every child left there with something, at least $100 worth of something. Some kids left with $300 worth of stuff. So when I tell you, I've seen what a man who is truly about the community and pro-black looks like, and 9 times out of 10, they're not doing all this talking. They're about that action. And you can physically see the discipline on them. You can see how happy the children are. You can see how you can see the glow on their wives' faces. Their wives don't look like they're being drugged through the mud or treated like the help. You can see it. You can see the discipline. And I'm not getting that when I see Dr. Umar Johnson. I know what it looks like, and he ain't it. I don't recognize it, baby. I put my womanhood before my blackness for that very reason. Yes. That Umar terms for having crushing cushy. Ugh, he's so nasty.